Mic, check, check, check. Justin Hunt, it's all happening. Special guest of the day. Baltimore super MC can go on tour all across the world with just freestyles, writing hit songs for everybody else. Everybody welcome King Los. 9-second applause. Word up, man. Thank you for joining me today.
What's up with it, man?
Chilling, man.
It's been a long time coming, man.
It's been a minute. Yeah. Actually, that's how I want to start this conversation. Do you remember the first time we met?
I don't remember the first time we met, no.
The first time we met, I think we met at an event, and then you were like, yo, I'm going to be in the studio the next day. Come to the studio.
No, I do remember that.
When I was in Hip Hop DX.
Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that.
So this is the first time we were in the studio together.
Oh, yeah.
And this freestyle was actually at the time, was one of the first viral freestyles we ever recorded with DX, right?
Uh-huh.
And I remember being in the studio, you were about to work on a track, and then I had to step outside for something. Mm-hmm. And I came back in, and this video is 12 minutes long. I came back in, and you had been rapping 18 minutes prior to this recording.
Wow.
So I called this 18 minutes lost freestyle, and it did really well for us. But there's a line you say right here in this freestyle that still sticks out to me to this day. It's one of the craziest things I've ever heard because it's one of these statements that we hear throughout life, and I never had an answer for. Mm-hmm. So let's look at it real fast.
Okay, take me down memory lane.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Yeah. Run for it. Ball like Wake Forest. When a tree fall, if nobody's around, do it make a sound. I bet it make a sound. I bet that motherfucker Wake Forest. Woo.
Does a tree fall and no one's around? Does it make a sound? I bet you it makes a sound. I bet you it motherfucking Wake Forest. Off of freestyle. 9-second applause.
That was disgusting.
That's disgusting. I got to applause that. You got to drop
the younger me for being so nasty and disgusting with that. That was crazy.
Is that truly off top? Had you thought about that before you kicked that?
Off top. Me watching it right now, and I'm like, whoa, I had no idea I even said that. Like, I can't even recall it. Like, that was crazy. Wow.
I mean, that's one of those things. Like, people are like, oh, does a tree make a sound that no one's around?
Yeah.
Can you know what I mean? But it would Wake Forest. Like, would be the answer.
It would Wake Forest. It's crazy.
It would. All the birds would move around. All the leaves would be fluttering.
Right.
Any animals would scurry away.
Right.
That is the answer to the question off of freestyle, King Los.
That was crazy. I may have solved the unsolvable riddle of life. Wow, man.
Through rhyme.
That's so cold, bro.
And even I'm going to stick on this moment for a second. Even the setup, wait for it, wait for it, run Forest, ball like Wake Forest. Come on, man.
Run Forest, all the word association. Man. I'm really about to start redisplaying the art of like off the dome, because I feel like we really veered away from that true nature of off the dome freestyle. It's about time, because everything got really scripted over the last 10, 15 years. Everything got very scripted. So everything was like pre-made and pre-scripted, and now it's like it's time to bring some of that natural just essence back. You know what I'm saying? That captivating moments. Yeah.
That's captivating right there.
Yeah, for sure. I'm captivated by it. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
so I'm going to start bringing a lot more of that back, just off the dome flavor. You know what I'm saying?
We had I did a conversation with Daylight. You know, Daylight just released a Plate of Collard Greens with J. Cole.
Yeah.
And he said one of the
fire record.
And one of the things he said in that conversation was him and Cole were talking about how they want to bring back ciphers with like great artists. You know how we grew up and you would see Jay-Z, DMX, Big Pun in a cipher, or whoever they were would cipher together. There's certain elements of MCing, of hip hop, that have seemed to fall to the wayside, in my opinion, in an era based on technology. To me, that makes it the easiest to do these things. Like, you don't need a separate guy recording your. Anytime you're around an artist, you can cipher. Right. But somewhere it became cool not to rap for free.
Right. Well, I don't even really think it's the idea of like not rapping for free, as more as it's the idea of having less talent became very popular, because at some point the people who felt more inadequate, maybe either lyrically or, when it comes to substance or whatever, they realized that the 80% is the majority. And they realized that, hey, we can create a world where we can lower the standard so low, but this is the bar in our world. And so if we just shun, all of the more technical aspects and all that, then this can be the more prominent way to express and to display. And so in the cycle of hip hop, I think we would always see these moments where the more prolific and the more profound and the more esoteric artists would kind of fade away and it would be harder for them. And then the predominance of the masters of the mediocre would come to the forefront. And that's like the give and take. That's like the polarity of music itself. But through that, what happens is now a portal door is open for someone to come in and raise the bar higher than it's ever been. So what it does is it allows for someone to come and break the cycle. And that's just how it has to be. It's just like the eclipse breaks the cycle in nature, right? The seasons, they break the cycles. And so right now we're still having heat, right? It's supposed to be cold right now or chilly. Right. But we're still having 98-degree days where it's supposed to be like fall. Right, but cycles are being broken, So the laws of polarity just work that way, and now we're gonna see those ciphers come back because there's an extreme necessity for it, right? There's a necessity to see this level of artistry reemerge as we see the music industry kind of like struggling to refine their footing as well, right? Because it was always established on talent and potential, and not just like algorithm or traffic or viral nature, right? And so we're starting to see the ciphers will come back. I'm actually about to insert a cipher series, and I'm gonna go, basically state to state, and it's about to get crazy. So I got a whole cipher series that I'm about to do too, and it's gonna show new emerging MCs too, which the cipher highlights the MC. So it's gonna bring back a lot of that. So shout out to Cole and Light if they about to do that too, because that's lit. Make sure y'all call me. Don't duck no smoke. Call me. You know what I'm saying? I'm available. I'll pop out for the Cole cipher all day.
What, from your point of view, being one of the greatest MCs of all time, and I say that with confidence.
Sheesh.
What do you see, like what stands out to you when you see someone, in your point of view, who you consider a great MC?
The things that stand out to me, of course, is flow, delivery, cadence, conviction, vulnerability, skill, and tonality. Those are the things that stand out to me. You know what I'm saying?
How did you did you consciously work on those things over time, or is it just life experiences sort of bled into it?
I did. So that is the result of the collective items that I gathered in my experience of being an MC, but I didn't collectively, I didn't have a pre-establishment of I'm going to work on this, work on that, work on that. It was just me. Let's say I took pun, right? And pun would be did in the middle with little Italy, little did we know, little to zero, middle didn't do diddly. So there you have alliteration, right? You have multisyllabic structure, right? And you have, of course, his tonality, how he would go up and down. Did in the middle with little Italy, little did we know. So the inflections in the tone. And so I would hear that, and I would just, in my mind, would want to beat it. I didn't know what the path was. I didn't know what the formula was. I didn't know how to calculate that. I just knew that I could assimilate in some way to just seeing a target and then trying to supersede what it was. So for that, it was the alliteration with pun and the way he used words and the way he used tonality. And then it would be like cannabis. Cannabis said, I could run at top speeds without bending my knees, pinpoint asteroids in orbit, then hurl y'all thousands of miles an hour towards it, right? So not only do you have wordplay, thousands of miles an hour, right? But you got pinpoint asteroids in orbit, then hurl y'all thousands of miles an hour towards it. So the more astronomical thought, the more esoteric mind frame. Like, what? Hold on. You say stuff that's not possible to even conjure up. Right? I speak at frequencies dogs will have trouble hearing. Cannabis, the lyrical version of German engineering. Like, what? So when I would hear that, I'm like, okay, I want to supersede that. Right? So I would take that. Then I would hear Big L. Right? You ain't a leader. What? Nobody followed you. You was never shit. Your mother should have swallowed you. Like shit like that. And it's like, wow. So I would take all these people that I in some way idolized or thought were amazing artists and MCs, and then I would want to supersede those. So that's how I got all those aspects of artistry. I got it from seeing the people that I thought were the elites, right? And then I would take something about them and I would want to accentuate that within my own self, and I would mix that up in a pot and I would make that good. And that's how I would come up with my alphabetic arsenal and awesome arithmetic are actually attributes, adding artistic apprenticeship, absolutely an animal, accurately articulate. Like doing the straight A's, hearing like Papoose and hearing these guys do all these things, I would want to always supersede my predecessors. And so that's how I kind of came up with the criteria for what stands out to me for like an elite MC.